What's going on with Tulsi Gabbard and her investigation is crazy. It's nuts. There's big stuff happening. Not only is she going after Obama, which was kind of the big cheese, right? And she's got apparently damning evidence, and there's recordings, and there's documents about Obama calling the intelligence agency heads into the office, into the White House after Trump won the election, and saying, look, let's reassess the material and let's come to a different conclusion and basically try to undermine and delegitimize Trump's election win in 2016. That's called at least sedition. The T word, treason, is being used an awful lot. Now, here's what I'm going to have to say. Brennan, the DNI, the CIA guy, Clapper, Comey, the FBI guy, obviously Obama. These people are very powerful people, very powerful. And the fact is that now there's Pence, the vice president. She's bringing out material against Pence and saying she's got proof that he was working with Obama or working with a whole undermine and what's the word? Subterfuge? Anyway, delegitimize Trump's presidency. So I think what we're going to see, we're already seeing already, we're already seeing this net is catching a lot of people on both sides, proverbially, of the proverbial aisle. Really, if Pence is guilty, then other people are guilty. Probably like Mitt Romney, probably like John McCain, who's obviously no longer with us. But the fact is that this is a wide net. And what does that tell us? What should we take away from that? What should we expect? Well, my first thought is, wait a minute. We've been here before. And what I mean by that, I mean the fact is that other presidents have been persecuted. I mean, Nixon was hounded out of office. Obviously, Reagan was shot, attempted assassination, and we know that JFK was shot. Now, what do all those three have in common? Well, there's a through line, a thread line to all of those. After Trump took office, we found out that the CIA was in fact involved in JFK's assassination. Okay, well, what did JFK do before he was assassinated? He took the money-making authority, the money-printing authority, the budgetary authority away from the Fed and put it back into Congress, which is what the Constitution says to do. Okay, so he did that. He also was pulling out of Vietnam, which meant billions of dollars in defense funding going to these manufacturers of ammo, munitions, and helicopters and rockets and all that stuff. So big money's involved, and so JFK got whacked. I mean, like everybody, he got shot, he got killed, he was murdered. So going after that, what happened? Well, Nixon won 10 years later, 63 to 68, 5 years later. Nixon wins his first term, and then his second term is his second election is a huge landslide. The biggest one in history, I believe. And what Nixon did, though, I read an account where he had the head of the CIA in his office, in the Oval Office, and he asked him point blank, did you guys kill Jack? And the head of the CIA said nothing. And that was the end of the story, supposedly. But then the burglars at the Watergate Hotel were caught with the DNC headquarters, right? So with Nixon on his way to cruising to an enormous landslide, somehow he needed to hire plumbers to infiltrate the DNC headquarters and find out what they were up to. Well, yeah, maybe not. That doesn't pass the smell test. I mean, now we found out later that most of the guys who were caught were working for the CIA. In other words, they were designed to get caught. That was the idea. So Nixon, whether or not he covered it up or tried to cover it up or tried to cover up the cover-up, whatever it was, he was railed out of office. He took office in 73 for his second term. By August of 74, he was done. And who was his vice president? Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford was huge, played a big role in the Warren Commission on the investigation of the assassination of JFK. This isn't a conspiracy. This is all out there. I mean, these are documents. And Gerald Ford became president. So he went from VP to president, the only unelected president we've had, as I understand, I think. Then there was Reagan. Who was Reagan's VP? Former head of the CIA, George Bush. Reagan was talking about the gold standard to cut all the spending, all the deficit spending. And within 3 months of taking office, he was shot. Could have been killed, easily could have been killed. Well, that didn't happen, obviously, but George Bush was there and waiting in the wings. And I voted for the guy. So this isn't like, I'm just saying what it was. He was the head of the CIA. and the CIA assassinated Jack Kennedy. And the CIA was responsible for the Watergate break-in. So when you think about it, that's a lot of through line. That's a lot of threads. Now who's threatening the CIA? Donald Trump. Who's threatening the entire establishment? Barack Obama. Barack Obama, we know, is what they call I think Clinton made the coin. He's a fence post turtle. And the thing is, the story there is, guys walking along country road, comes upon a tall fence post, and sees a turtle sitting on top of the fence post. And the guy says, well, I don't know how he got there. I don't know what he's doing up there, but he didn't get there by himself. And that's kind of who Obama was. And apparently now we're learning that with Obama visiting the White House 300-something days a year, at least in 2024, and Biden being effectively unconscious for 4 years, we know that Obama was in the White House with Biden unconscious. So put those two together, if you will. Draw whatever conclusions you might. But my larger point is this, and this is very serious. Now Mike Pence is being implicated. And so, think about this, RFK is threatening the big pharma, and all that revenue, and taking their rights to advertise on TV, getting vaccines taken off the list. So he's hurting their business big time. So what I'm getting at is the Trump administration, Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi with the whole Epstein thing, RFK. This is turning out to be a pivotal historical point in our country. And don't expect these people to just lie down and just turn themselves in. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're coming up to a very, very big moment here. And I would be surprised if we got through the summer without this happening. Whatever this is, whether it's Trump being, I don't know, Article 25th out of the office, whether he's accused of another crime, whether he's framed for a crime, whatever it is, you got people who are like his own vice president, close to him, but not for him, not with him, and that's evident. And if it happened last time, I'm sure it's happening this time. And so my question is, will the deep state push back? I think they will. They always have, apparently. And I wasn't a deep state person. I never liked the term. I still don't like the term, because the deep state, quote unquote, is full of people. And people have lives. People have interests. People have families. People have agendas, and they have connections, and they have power. And it's a lot of power to do what those guys have done and get away with it so far. So this isn't about just, well, they committed a crime, they did something they shouldn't have done. This is a showdown, folks. This is a showdown for the future of America, and I don't expect it to last that much longer. I don't see how it can. I mean, once they frog march, I don't know, say James Clapper, or John Brennan, or even get Obama mugshotted the way they did to Trump, I mean, I just can't see these guys and gals. They have a lot of power behind them. I can't see them just standing down. I think this is going to come to a big conflict, a big event of some sort. I don't know what it will be. I hope I'm wrong. But I just can't see these guys standing down. I can't see the deep state giving in to Donald Trump. I just can't. He's the president. Well, JFK was the president. Ronald Reagan was the president. Donald Trump was the president, and he was shot at, and he was hit. They didn't kill him, but that was the goal. So should we expect anything less? I'm not anticipating it. I guess I am. I'm not advocating it for it, obviously. I hope it doesn't happen, but I just can't think that this is going to happen in a void, and these entrenched interests are going to sit back and do nothing. What do you think? Let me know. I'm James Gorey.